Alright, welcome back to the channel, and this is the results video for UFC 309 Jones vs Miocic, where we will find out which UFC prediction channels had the most and least correct picks and which ones were the most and least profitable if you followed all of their picks. But we first start with the totals for this event and compare the results of the Oddsmakers versus the Tapology community and the UFC prediction channels. For this card there were a total of 12 fights. Unfortunately, there was a last minute cancellation of the fight between Chris Weidman and Eric Anders. I've tracked predictions from 97 channels, and those 97 channels made a total of 1014 predictions, for an average of 10.5 per channel. Of all the 1014 predictions that have been made, 651 were correct for 64.2% and 363 were incorrect for 35.8% incorrect percentage. Let's compare the Oddsmakers versus the Tapology community and the YouTube prediction channels and find out who was better at predicting the winner for all fights. The favorite fighter in odds on this card won 9 out of 12 times, and if you placed a $100 bet on all favorite fighters on this card for the outcome of the fight, you could have won $63 for a 5.3% return of investment. 3 underdogs this week managed to win their fight, which were Ramiz Brahimaj, Jim Miller and Viviane Arroyo. And if you placed the same $100 bet on all the underdogs on this card, you would have lost $345 for a minus 28.8% return of investment. The Tapology community predicted the winner of each fight correctly 8 out of 12 times. If you placed a $100 bet on all the favorites in picks by the Tapology community, for the outcome of the fight, you could have won $31 for a 2.6% return of investment. And the favorite fighter in picks of all YouTube prediction channels only won 7 out of 12 times. And placing that same $100 bet on all favorite picks could have lost you $307 for a return of investment of minus 25.6%. In conclusion, the Oddsmakers were best at predicting the winner of each fight. Now let's take a look at the individual YouTube prediction channels and see which one had the worst and best results for this week. For the results for the individual UFC prediction channels, we will only look at channels that made predictions on at least half of the fights, which in this case is a minimum of 6. For least correct picks this week, in third place we have these 6 channels. All 6 of them had 6 out of 12 predictions correct for 50%. In second place we have 5 channels. All 5 of them had 5 out of 11 predictions correct for a 45.5% correct pick percentage. And for least correct picks this week we have Bet Sam and Lightning MMA. Both of them had 5 out of 12 correct for a 41.7% correct pick percentage. Let's find out which channels had the most correct picks this week. In fourth place are these 5 channels. All 5 of them had 9 out of their 12 picks correct for a correct pick percentage of 75%. In third place are Fight Fiend Forecast, the MMA Fortune Teller and UFConsultant. All 3 of them had 9 out of 11 picks correct for 81.8%. In second place we have Arnold Allen, DFS by the numbers, JohnnyKpicks and Livid Larry MMA. Arnold Allen had 5 out of 6 correct and the other 3 channels had 10 out of 12 correct for an 83.3% correct pick percentage. And in first place this week for most correct picks we have Brando MMA and Home of Bets. Both of them had 10 out of 11 correct for a correct pick percentage of 90.9%. So congratulations to Brando MMA and Home of Bets for having the highest correct pick percentage this week. Here is the overview of all prediction channels with their correct picks, their total picks and the correct pick percentage. If the correct pick percentage is the same, the names will be in alphabetical order. And in this overview are also channels who made less than 6 predictions. If you enjoy the content and find it helpful and informative, then don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. For the next section of most unprofitable and profitable predictors, we will pretend that you placed a $100 bet on the outcome of the fight on every pick our channel made. so that means picks with high, medium or low confidence, or picks when they don't like the odds. And to calculate these results, we will use the odds from the tail of the tape that are shown before each fight. Which channels were the most unprofitable predictors this week? At number 8, we have Greedo Plays, following all of his picks and placing a $100 bet for the outcome of the fight. You could have lost $346 for a minus 31.5% return of investment. In 7th place is Cody from the Dogger Pass podcast, with a loss of $368 for a return of investment of minus 30.7%. In 6th place is Rigo, with a loss of $387 for a minus 32.3% return of investment on his 12 predictions. In 5th place is Lightning MMA, with a loss of $411 for a return of investment of minus 34.3% on his 12 predictions. In 4th place we have Koti Denk and Pick'em MMA. They both made the exact same predictions, and if you followed all picks from one of these channels, you could have lost $440 for a minus 36.7% return of investment. In 3rd place is Fallen Angel MMA, with a loss of $484 and a minus 40.3% return of investment on his 12 predictions. In 2nd place are Half the Battle and James Lynch. They both made the exact same predictions, and following all picks from one of these two channels and placing a $100 bet on the outcome of the fight could have lost you $491 for a return of investment of minus 44.7%. And in 1st place this week as the most unprofitable predictor, we have Bet Sam. He made 12 picks, and if you followed all of them, you could have lost $580 for a return of investment of minus 48.4%. Which UFC prediction channels were the most profitable this week if you followed all of their picks and placed a $100 bet on the outcome of the fight? At number 8 we have Fresh Start MMA, with a profit of $208 on his 12 predictions for a 17.3% return of investment. In 7th place is Brandon from the Santino DeFranco podcast, with a profit of $225 for a return of investment of 20.5% on his 11 predictions. In 6th place is UFConsultant, with a profit of $286 with a return of investment of 26%. In 5th place this week is Fight Fiend Forecast, with a profit of $341 and a return of investment of 31%. In 4th place we have DFS by the numbers, JohnnyKpicks and Livid Larry MMA. All three of them made the exact same predictions, and following all predictions from one of these channels could have won you $348 for a return of investment of 29%. In 3rd place we have the MMA Fortune Teller, with a profit of $384 for a return of investment of 34.9% on his 11 predictions. And with a profit of almost $200 more, in 2nd place we have Brando MMA, following all of his 11 predictions and placing a $100 bet on the outcome of the fight could have won you $571 for a very good return of investment of 51.9%. And the most profitable predictor this week is Home of Bets. Following all of his picks, you could have won $734 for a really good return of investment of 66.7%. So, congratulations again to Home of Bets and Brando MMA for having the most correct picks this week and being the most profitable predictors. Don't forget to check out the channels who had the best results this week. Links to these channels can be found in the video description. And here is the overview of all money won and lost and their return of investment for all channels. That was it for the results video. Thank you all so much for watching, hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.